2022, the year I decided to switch things up a little and get this channel rolling. A rather bold move, I'd admit, but one that has been thoroughly enjoyable. And that year started off pretty much the way it ended. Riding in monster amounts of slop on some pretty fun little trails with my mates. The rain didn't last forever. Soon the trails would run dry and fast, and it was soon time to get those legs stretched. It wasn't all just fun and games around the Murgtal though, because with the warmer weather, it became time to stretch those wings and head out a little bit further afield. Engelbrand Bikepark, where gotten a bit of jump practice and a little bit of work in the skills area. Then Marty and I head out to Beerfelden, a lovely little bike park. Short, sweet little runs, a bit of a T-bar uplift, but fantastic times were had.
Marty's good line, I always forget Marty's good line.
One definitely cannot beat rushing some awesome trails with the mates, but soon it was time to head across the river. And that meant crossing the Rhine and heading over into the France.
Oh, I love this trail. It's such a little beaut of...
And of course, being the France, it meant finding sweet little sections of single trail. And Engelbrand and Lac Blanc, my preferred spot to go out and get some practice, also means some proper good switchback practice. The mountain is littered with some amazingly awesome switchbacks. Not all of them I got first time, but getting out to do a bit of practice is what it's all about.
Bikepark Lac Blanc. We're about to head up the lift for the first session of the day. Pissed down here last night, but now, sun is out.
But of course, France does have a lot more to offer than just rando single trails stacked on a mountain nobody knows. We also took the chance to smack it up at Bikepark Lac Blanc. It was my first trip over, day and a half there, rushing proper good little flow lines, but also tackling some proper monster mamma jam bits of chunk. Me and Marty were raging it there, having the best time ever, completely loving life. That is, until my two monster crashes right at the last run, as always happens. But before we did that, we got to rush down some awesome single track. Man, Bikepark Lac Blanc really knows how to put it together. The blues were toit, and of course the Jank Supremo.
I took completely the easy line down there.
Now you can't just live on French Bikepark Jank and flow trails alone. So hitting up the Murgtal, where I live.
This one doesn't muck about in getting started.
And that of course meant finding all of the steep, janky trails I've grown to love over the years. This valley definitely does have some proper good steep jank.
This is one bad boy of a trail. I gotta run the ridge. Go down here. Come across. Here we go. Pedals.
Searching it out has really become one of my favorite things to do. Every now and again I just get directed into the direction of proper good little steezers. And I love heading out, getting them down as tight as I can. A proper good section of natural jankiness is really hard to beat, but sometimes that must be done. So it was time to load the bike up and head a little bit further afield. And on this trip, I learned that Wales is also a country, and not only the fish with the biggest dick in the ocean.
Pop the seat down here. Let's go.
There you go, Bubbles. Finally got the one in for you. First stop on our annual 4x4 tour of bike parks was Coed Y Brenen, an absolutely amazing trail center that is billed as the oldest, or at least first park constructed for the sole purpose of mountain biking, and it definitely did not disappoint. However, is net hier, aber war du schon in Baden-Württemberg?
That had a little bit less grip than I thought it was going to have.
But here we are again at the top of Mount Snowdon. Once again, we have the most magnificent view of Royals. That's right, no trip to Northern Wales will be complete without tackling Mount Snowdon. It is a classic ride in the UK for a reason. A one hell of a slog to get your bike up and an amazing descent.
And that's the Snowdon behind me. For Stubby and Rubels didn't really enjoy that ride, to be honest.
But however good that descent is, this is kein dicke Titten.
The Scuzzy Owl.
Hey!
Here's my main competition for today. These two wankers are too slow.
That's right, Bikepark Wales. And after finishing Snowdon, packed up the bikes, headed down to Bikepark Wales where we met up with a good Scuzzy Owl. And it was time to increase the party to 4, which meant big ass party trails. So we spent the entire morning racking and stacking the blues and having one awesome time.
Off grid.
That is until it properly pissed down at lunchtime. That meant a couple more runs in the blues until the trails dried out a tad, and then we started to stack up the reds. It was one awesome day. However good Bikepark Wales is though, it's knee chop well.
And welcome back to day 4 of the 4-in-4, and I'm behind the grooves.
That is right. For the 4th day of our tour, Kaziel was still in tow and we headed across the border into the Engelbrand, where we decided to stop at Forest of Dean.
Check out my pants out. I'm a school K.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Ride a bike?
What an absolute magic place, and what an absolute magic bit of pedaling. Thanks to Kaziel, who'd been there a few times, led us around, showing us all of the good spots. What an absolute laugh. That last descent down from, oh man, I can't even remember which route it was, running an absolute huge bit of flow. It was a proper good way to end an amazing 4 days on the island.
Ooh.
And once again, being back in the loving embrace of the fatherland, it was time to start stacking up a couple of more monster rides, some tasty ass jank. That of course meant tagging in our annual Monster Mamma Jam all-day epic, where Marty and I head up to the Hornus Grinder, a massive ride up, stopping at, of course, the Schnaps Brunnen on the way down. But between the two, some amazing trails.
I'm thirsty. No, I have to schnaps in my dryers.
You don't have to.
What are you talking about? Of course I have to.
Cheers.
Cheers, Marty. Thanks.
Yep, off the top of the mountain, Wimpelstilshen, into Pfantsfall, which starts to get much more jumpy and flowy, and then tagging our way through the Verbindungsweg, and then into the Alpiersbacher Schwarzwald Trail. And what absolute banger trail to be sponsored by my absolute favorite beer. The two definitely go super well together.
Oof, Leafy!
Even if 6 odd hours of biking really does take it out of your arms and legs, it still is definitely a monster epic ride and an absolute banger day out on the bike.
Nice save there, Martin.
But of course, winter is coming. That means snow and cold and miserable days out. But before that happened, we managed to tag in a couple of trips across to Stuttgart. Of course, it is Stuttgart, which means Schwabenland, but the trails there are proper toy. And we got in a few really good days of exploring them, running some trails we already knew, and having an absolute blast while doing it.
I didn't realize the lack of braking power in my front brake was that bad.
But then, of
snow.
course, the temperatures dropped and the snow did fall,
was a bit
which
hard
meant
stopping.
snow rides. But snow rides didn't last forever. The snow
Proper
disappeared,
boring
the
snow
heat
ride.
came back. But whatever, we managed to get a few baller rides in.
Nope, I did not get it. Oh, and I got a bramble in my arm. Cock. Oh.
Whatever. We did manage to get a couple of really nice rides in and absolutely thoroughly
coming to
enjoy
it.
snow rides, and I'm really glad to have managed to get those in before the end of the year.
know if I'm
It does
really
look
on
like
the
we'll get a couple more in before the winter is over though, while we gear up for the spring. But
Oh, man.
that's the way it is. Thanks very much folks for watching this video, and I appreciate every bit of support I've got throughout the course of the year
there it
in
is.
making this channel grow. I really do appreciate that. Thanks so much, man, and I will catch you guys hopefully in another baller year on the channel. Peace, my friends.